All right, welcome to Power Driven Diesel. We've had a lot of requests about what is the status of the race truck. Last fall you saw this thing blow up in spectacular fashion there in Salt Lake at Rocky Mountain Raceway. According to their race director, it was the most catastrophic explosion you've ever seen in the history of that track, with the exception of maybe one top fuel car. So we got a record there. It's pretty cool.
Luckily, the track is closing down in another month, so it's a record that doesn't matter.
Yeah, so those records are great to have, ones that don't matter. But anyway, the truck has been stored at my house. We've been working diligently, getting parts, making plans, figuring out what we're going to do for UCC this year. And we're going to just do a quick update on how the truck sits, what we got to do to get ready to compete. So come check it out. Okay, so here is the truck. Literally, we pulled the engine out of it and I put it away. I mean, this is hilarious right here. This is a piston pin retainer. It's called a Spiralox retainer. So when the engine blew up, the piston, I don't even know if this is here till right now. I mean, it's still covered in oil. So this thing needs a bath. Start off with a bath. When the engine blew up and knocked the hood up, I mean, it came clear out here. You see it just ripped this thing clear up. So we're gonna have to figure out how to take this window off and redo this body work here, pull this all out and pound it down so we can actually put a new windshield on this. What are we doing for a windshield? Will did a lot of research on this. What's going on with this?
So we called up the guys at Fleece, and they have a tinted Lexan formed windshield for these second-gen Dodges, made by a company that specializes in top fuel dragster windshields. So it's good quality NHRA approved stuff. We're gonna put that Lexan windshield in place of this factory one. So we'll save a little weight, be a little safer, glass if it blows up, and if Todd catches on fire, he won't be able to get out through the windshield because he won't be able to kick it out.
Try not to catch on fire. Goal this year, no fire. I got up twice last year, 0 this year.
Fire.
No fire this year.
And I want to point out really quick, you notice this, we used leather to patch the firewall. It's kind of like an old school hot rodder technique. This leather held up extremely well.
It did.
Considering there was over 150 pounds of boost instantly released in that area. Fire. So note to self, the leather it's a great way to go when you're patching a firewall.
I actually got that tip from my chassis inspector, the guy who inspected my roll cage. I had these big holes in here and he says, you gotta do something. He says, just get some leather. So all my intercooler piping in and out, you just get some leather, put it in there, and he says, keep you from starting on fire. Worked good. Thanks, dude. So we got to make a lot of changes. We're going to do a couple different things here. But first off is we have no hood. We have no front. It's gone. It's broken.
Okay, so we found a company in the Midwest that specializes in sled pulling fiberglass lightweight body panels. And we're like, well, let's tap into that sled pull technology because we're, dumb drag racers that like to use a sled pulling engine. And so we got a whole fiberglass front clip. It weighs less than one fender on the truck. So we have a whole front clip that's the bumper, hood, fenders. It's a tilt hood, so it'll be easier to work on this engine. And that is here. So
what do we got to do to make it fit?
Okay, to make the new fiberglass front clip work, we're going to cut off these cab corner hood hinge support boxes. And then we have some hinges with this new hood that mount on the body and helps it, it pulls out and tilts. It's just kind of a nice little fastener setup, to fix that problem.
When the hood hit, when the engine blew up and it folded this whole hood right up, it hit so hard, it actually pulled these boxes in. These used to be square. You can actually, not only are the hinges broken, the boxes that hold the hinges are pulled in. So they're junk. We got to cut them off anyway. So just more crap to get out of the way, easier access to the engine. It's a blessing.
We're going to have to rewire the whole truck. This is a data log lead, and it's frayed, and there's a couple inches of bare copper. This is the fuel shutdown cable. A lot of guys say we didn't have fuel shutdown. There's the fuel shutdown cable. It's all mangled, so we're going to have to get all new safety shutdown equipment figured out on this, replumb it. We're going to have to rewire it. A lot of these vibrant hoses took a lot of heat. When we're going over the footage of this engine blowing up, I noticed there was a bunch of broken intake pipes over the top of the engine that took the brunt of the explosion. And if you look here, down here, these vibrant HD clamps, they held up, they did not break, they're still intact, and we broke welds on both ends of the fittings. This is 11 gauge aluminum that broke, not wimpy 16 or 14 gauge. heavy duty 11 gauge aluminum. The welds and the piping broke and the clamps are still intact. These are pretty radical clamps. Very happy. So guess what? We're calling it Vibrant, and we're going to order some new clamps for this build, because if they could hold up to that, we're never going to blow one of these up with a couple 100 pounds of boost.
No, these are plenty powerful for anything we're going to build. They're awesome.
How high have we tested these to?
Over 200.
A little over 200 pounds of boost.
Yeah, so they just hold up, man. And they're so easy. The thing that's nice about them in a tight environment, they're so easy to make your connections. I mean, you can unhook and hook this super fast. I mean, I just really like these things. When I found these originally, I've never gone away from them. They're just awesome. Of course, this one's been through, even after a fire, it still works pretty good. Anyway, so we'll get some more of these.
Still works. Shoot, we could cut that off and reuse it.
Yeah. No. All right, so that's kind of the quick update of the race truck. It has arrived at the shop. That's a big deal. Now we can work on it. Got a lot of body work to do. We got some awesome engine updates for you. We've been working a lot with some pretty impressive people in the industry that we're teaming up with on this engine. We're still going to be using the Hamilton solid iron cast block. Really happy with that thing.
But the block is going to be modified extensively. We've got a lot of cool trick stuff we're working on. We're really excited about the new engine setup. And as you see, we have a ton of work to do. So we're going to have to cut this video short, but stay tuned. Next week, we'll have another update on where we are. And hopefully you guys can police us in your comments on what we should be doing different so that we can win this year. Thanks.
Go Team Power DD. Dang it, Power DD, are you kidding me?
Go Team Power Driven Diesel.
Power Driven Diesel.